Oh, hello, everyone, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds and Session 5, the penultimate session of this limited series. I am Anya, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be your storyteller for this game of Into the Black, a Serenity RPG. If you haven't seen the Firefly TV show, think cowboys in space set 500 years in the future, post-planet-spanning civil war. I am once again choosing chaos. So, Emma, you get to go first this time. Give us your name, name, pronouns, same for your character, and their goal going into today's session.
Hello, my name is Emma, pronouns she, her. I am playing Echo, pronouns he, they, whose goal immediately going into the session is is to be honest. Let's go with that.
I like it. Zev, you go next.
Hey everybody, I'm Zev. I will be playing Tenzin, whose goal this episode is revenge.
Oh
no.
And just for everyone, pronouns.
He, him, and he, him.
Perfect. Rara, you're next.
Hey, I'm Rara, he, him. I'm playing Landon Cornflower, who's also a he, him, whose goals would probably be just to enjoy life, probably, just to move onward from the past and obliterate all who stand in his way.
Ambitious goals? Question mark. Janie, you go. You're muted, just so you know.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm Janie. I'm playing Shide, playing Jude. Shide, Jude's goal is to win at poker and complete whatever the mission is, but she forgot what they were supposed to be doing. So she something about maybe killing him or stealing or kidnapping. She doesn't know.
Amazing. And last but not least, Mica.
Hi, I'm Mica. I'm playing Angie Zhang, the taciturn bodyguard / engineer and former Marine. We are both she, her. And I think Angie's goal is, I think she knows that she has to keep the plan on track because Jude will probably have forgotten.
Very fair. I got distracted by my pixel chat. In any case, focusing back in, before we begin, does anyone wish to spend any advancement points to improve their skills or specialties?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with Angie. What you got for me?
So I think Angie has been continuing to play the role of a security personnel, but has been poking her nose in probably where it shouldn't be. And I think it's time to increase my covert even more from all the sneaking around and finding out what's what on the ship. So I'm going to increase that to a D6.
Excellent. So that's 6 advancement points.
And like do something else as well. 14 banked.
Okay, so if you wanted to, you could do a specialty in covert because you have 8 left after that.
What specialties are there in covert?
Ooh, I have not done things, but there is sneaking if you want to be sneaky. There's also
moving undetected and blending are the 2 I have under there.
Here we go. So under covert, you have camouflage, disable devices, forgery, infiltration, open locks, sabotage, sleight of hand, stealth, streetwise, surveillance, and anything else that you think could possibly be relevant. You are not limited to that list.
I think infiltration is probably
okay. Sorry, I bumped my
former special ops person would be good at.
Okay, which feels very appropriate to what you have going on right now. Perfect. Anyone else?
Yes.
Okay, Landon, go for it.
I'd like to spend 12 to put a D6 in unarmed combat.
Okay. Because 2, 4, 6 equals 12 equals that. Yes. So you now have
is the right math.
Yes, that is the correct math. So going from 0 to 6.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Oh, yes. And it feels like it's absolutely a situation of, oh, you have learned very quickly that you need to be able to potentially punch back.
And well, it's more. It's I forgot about Tenzin actually. No, it's more that
Yeah,
they didn't let us bring our weapons in.
Yes.
Tenzin's a distant memory. That's that debacle.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how he feels about that. Echo, are you doing anything?
What a great question. As always. I think I think no. I think no for the moment.
Okay. Interesting. Tenzin?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And that leaves Jude. Did you want to do anything? Update your character sheet at all?
No, I don't have it. I only have 7 points, and I want something better.
Yeah, the only thing with 7 you'd be able to do, like, you could up one of your d4s to a d6 if you wanted to. But besides that, no. So that would be like your knowledge or your technical or mechanical engineering, anything like that would probably be useful. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to up your covert, which is also where you could put gambling, but you don't have to. You can always roll something different if you argue it. Oh, 1 second. Pixel chat hates me. Okay. Well, with that, I think that we are going to begin. Perfect. Let me just type in my name here. Well, storyteller. There we go. Let's get this game on the road. So, the chandeliers in the casino salon sparkle and shimmer in a multitude of colorful lights, making everything appear magical and brand new. Dozens of mahogany gambling tables are scattered around the oversized room aboard the El Dorado space cruiser, several of which with players already sitting and gambling, chattering amongst themselves about both the tournament and the auction set to take place aboard ship over the next 2 weeks. A large and imposing figure sits at one table, where all eyes are on him, with 2 delicately dressed companions, a lithe man and a curvy woman, seated on either arm of his chair. He laughs boisterously and slaps his hand of cards on the table. "I've got you now. Read 'em and weep, Lady Morrow." The elderly woman across the table from him gives him a calculated look that slowly morphs into a wide, toothy grin as she sets down her own hand. "Is that so, Sir Winthrop? Perhaps my old eyes deceive me then, because I do believe my royal flush beats your straight flush. Better luck at the tournament, She scoops up her winnings from the table and leaves, her cane clicking on the marble floor in her wake as the companions to either side of Sir Winthrop console and distract him. We pull away, the camera twisting to follow Lady Morrow out the door and panning down a lushly carpeted hallway to focus on 2 figures standing near an alcove. A tall, imperious woman with long red hair hanging straight down her back, wearing an expensive-looking gold and black sparkle gown, and Echo, or as the woman knows them, Aeschylus. "Really, darling, what is all this nonsense my brother has been spouting about you? I could hardly believe it. You know I have all my fundraisers and social events to attend. My schedule is simply far too full to spare a moment trying to sort out where you've been. And of all the places to find you, I didn't think that it would be here."
Mom! Just voice down, please. It's... there's a whole party going on.
I am quite aware of that. I, after all, am here for the poker tournament.
Oh, that's great. I feel like you'll enjoy that. What are you going to do with the money when you win it?
Well, of course, I'm going to be donating it to one of my many causes.
Sure. Okay. Whichever one looks the best right now?
Well, they all are. They're very important.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely to see you on this cruise. Sorry I didn't inform you I was coming, I guess.
You didn't answer any of my waves or my messages. I was getting concerned.
That's nice of you. I'm honored, I guess, that I've earned that. Yeah, sorry, I've been like so busy, just haven't had time to check my phone, I guess.
Your uncle said that you did something with his safe.
Oh, did I? Well, I guess if I did, that's so sad that he hasn't figured out how to open it. Oh, for him.
Really,
Sucks.
Aeschylus, this is so inappropriate.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't regret that. And if he hasn't figured out how to open that thing yet, that's on him. And honestly, I think the general, like all of this, like this ship and the planets and kind of just everything around is probably better if he get his hands on all of his shady political deals for a little bit. Who's really going to care? Okay.
Everything in that safe is highly classified and extremely important.
Well, nobody can open it now, so that's great. I did him a favor.
This is unacceptable. Your uncle is here on this ship, you know.
Yeah, I know. And I don't really want to talk to him.
He will want to talk to you, and I will be informing him of your presence here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just for your and his information, I'm actually here to do, some healing, some public healing. I'm sure you've seen the posters, right? Yeah, those are about me, and that's pretty public. So before you or he go trying to do any big stunts to convince you to get that code, just remember, lots of paparazzi on here, I'm sure. Anything either of us does is probably going to end up splashed in like 50-foot letters on a billboard in Bellerophon or something. So just keep it in mind for your calendar, for his career. All of
Your
that.
sister would never do something like this.
Yeah, well, that's why you gave her all the responsibilities, so. Oops.
This is not over. We will be talking later.
Yeah, I'm sure about it. I'm gonna, I haven't seen the rest of the ship. I really should just keep walking along. I was giving myself a little tour, so if you don't mind. And he sort of tries to start to slide past her.
She lets you go, looking very disgusted.
Have a nice time at the tournament. Echo just turns the corner and then kind of like just kind of goes into the wall for a second and puts his forehead on the wall.
That was as popcorn worthy as I'd hoped it would be.
And then he power walks, not through the rest of the ship, just goes back to the shuttle where he and Landon are staying and shuts the door.
Is Landon in there at this point?
That stressed me out so much I had to pull out my flower. Probably, I'd say he comes and goes fairly often. He gets a little overwhelmed with too many people, but goes back and forth pretty commonly. He's got things he's doing. And he would probably love to be at the ship while no one else is there. So it would make sense that he would be there when Echo arrived.
Okay.
Echo like opens the shuttle door, closes it, and then just goes down to the ground, like with his arms crossed over his knees against it, and seems to have just not picked up on the fact that it's a small shuttle, but has not, like, wherever you're sitting, has just not caught that you're there instantly.
No one's having a day.
Oh, hi.
Oh, Echo, good to see you. Are you tired?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's call it that. Yeah.
Did you gamble? Did you lose everything? Or
no, haven't gone near I've gone near the gambling tables. Sir Lucius, the guy, Sir Lucius Winthrop, he's there right now, kind of doing bad. Gonna be honest.
I guess when you're that wealthy, luck's not something you really have to trust in too much.
Yeah, it's when people have a lot of money and a lot of power, it just kind of, I feel like it just glosses over everything. It smooths it out. It's like sandpaper. It's like smoothing out all of the problems in the world. And everybody who's born into that gets that same effect. And then the moment that you step out of that, you have all the problems in the world, and then you have your entire wealthy family after you. Sorry, we were talking about Sir Lucius Winthrop. I am so sorry.
Why is his family after him? That sounds like a dramatic tale.
Not his family. My mom's on the ship, as is my uncle. Yeah, they're, she's a like famous socialite. He's a politician. I'm pretty sure he knows Sir Lucius. I recognize the name.
Is he the politician Captain wants to kill?
I'm not sure. She kept mentioning that.
She did. She really did. Yeah, like a prayer, just constantly.
Yeah, like it's come up, and there's kind of been the heist, but then also maybe murder, and it's come up just enough that like I'm trying to figure out where it fits in. I'm trying to figure out where it fits into the plan. But
it's like when you're going out for pizza and someone says, "Yeah, we're gonna get some pizza and rob a car, maybe," and you're like, "Well, I want to know how to dress. What shoes, but." And if you look at Landon, he has a huge armful of all those electronic pulse bombs that he bought. Like you caught him in the middle of like sorting something coming out of like Angie's room, where I gave a lot of them to Angie.
Just as a reminder, you're not on the Halo anymore. You're on the Eldorado.
That's right. And our ship isn't parked on the Eldorado?
No, your ship is parked on Ariel, and
we
you
took
are.
A shuttle.
Yeah, your
We've
shuttle
got the,
is there.
Compartment in the shuttle where we put a lot of stuff, so they might have gone in there.
Yeah, they probably did, a couple of them at least. So that's why Echo couldn't hide from me. My apologies. I misunderstood the size of the structure. But I've got at least 3. Let's say I got 3 of them. But I'll just put them on the floor and sit next to you. Yeah, it sucks that your mom's trying to... Wait, is your mom trying to kill anybody? Or is she here to see your performance? Is she sick?
I don't think so. She's doing great. I'm pretty sure she's here for the poker tournament. So I am really, really hoping that I get to see Tenzin and or Jude just like take a lot of, it's not even a lot of money because she has a lot of money. It's more, I just really want to see her face.
Echo, have you thought about that? If we win the poker tournament, we might just get enough money we don't have to steal anything.
Like, that would be great, honestly.
We could just make sure they win.
Yeah. Is there a way to rig a poker tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever rigged a poker tournament?
No, but I've thought about it just in case. Has a lot to do with food poisoning, but like not till they die. Just where like, oh, no one's here. Looks like I won, like that.
Process of elimination. You can only, if Tenzin and Judah are the only people playing in the poker tournament, then we're kind of honestly, yeah, that.
I don't like cheating, so I try to do it before the game starts. Then it's just like an aggression.
Cover all your bases beforehand. Just.
I'm going to stand up, and you see, of course, his shaved muscly calves as he's holding up his little robe. And then I'm going to pick up all the electric pulse placement. Like, well, I'll talk to you a little bit. I'm looking around.
Okay, have a good luck with whatever. I don't really know what you're doing, but whatever it is, good luck with those.
Spring cleaning, just a little cluttered.
Sure. Yeah, good luck. I'm going to be here for a little while, I think. So if you need me, this is probably where to find me.
And one of the days of the cruise will be Echo and Landon just being weird in a very small ship.
Honestly, I could see it.
Also, when I get better at unarmed combat by shadow boxing at night, so he's just down to a little skivvy with a headband on, just like sinewy, like jerky made out of Lost Dreams, and just like punching at his shadow in the dock would be his cutscene.
The visual you paint.
Bobbin.
Bob and weave.
We're going to shift now over to I would say not the crew's quarters, but a corner of the room in that casino salon where Angie and her newfound friend Adal, this short little NB who just isn't quite sure what they're doing, but they're a part of the security team here. They're just kind of excitedly looking around, absolutely not at their post where they're supposed to be. They have followed Angie to her post.
What's her surname?
Oh, they don't have one, but I will give them one. It is Meyer.
Meyer. Okay. Officer Meyer, you checked the port corridor yet?
Where is that again?
Port starboard.
Port.
LEFTPORT. See? Left is port.
Oh.
Starboard is right.
That's how you remember. That is so smart. Okay, I'm going to go over there right now, and I'll make sure that there are no bad people there.
Okay.
Okay.
And she
And they
sighs, shakes her head. Then when she's sure she's gone around the corner, goes back to I guess there's like a security terminal checkpoint thing. And goes and checks the security computer, going back to what she was doing, checking up the procedures that have been arranged for the security of the objects during the actual auction when they're going to get moved from their holding space with the cameras, probably to the back of the auditorium area, be brought onto stage.
Absolutely. So for that, you have security clearance. So it's not going to be a very difficult role. You know, I would say your infiltration will make sense here. Your newfound specialty. So let's do infiltration and intelligence.
Fantastic. That's 8. That's where I roll double ones.
Don't say that.
Yep, I rolled 5 and 5. That's 10.
Hey, and the difficulty was average. So you have succeeded. So as you are going through with your credentials, you're able to see most but not everything. You are not DeWitt after all. However, as you are going through, just checking through everything, if anyone asks, oh yes, I'm just making sure that I know to be prepared, that kind of thing. And you see that all of these display cases that all of these different items are in are actually movable. And so they, sorry, I have a dog at my feet. So they are currently locked in place. They are actually, it's almost like the landlocking mechanisms that they use for landlocking ships, but it's smaller scale. So it's almost like a magnetization of the base and deactivating the base of these pedestals. And so it's fully like tech that is holding these things in place.
So technically, we wouldn't even need to break the security on the cases to steal them.
Nope.
Interesting. Okay, she's gonna like close down all that and like having taken some notes, I guess. I don't know if there's some sort of like memory stick she can take some information
yeah,
to show
like
the others with, but
you would have your own compad, and you would be able to hook it up into the system and gather some intel.
she's gonna do that quickly before her new friend comes back.
Mm-hmm. And because you succeeded on the roll, you do manage to complete everything without being noticed with your lovely infiltration specialty. So, is there anything else that you wanted to do here?
No, I think if she's got does she have a specific patrol route, or is there something specific she's meant to be doing right now? Or is she
In general, you're mainly keeping track of visitors, but also in general, your station is in the casino proper, keeping an eye on things, making sure that, you know, if any of the people working the tables like flags you or pushes a button, that if anyone's being rowdy, you can handle it, basically.
Okay. I guess she'll just wait around there then and wait for a break to go and maybe get a chance to talk to the others.
Yeah, and it isn't long after that Adal comes back, and they're very, very excited, and they just say, there were a whole bunch of people in very fine clothing. None of them had any sort of weapons although I wasn't sure about one of the ladies' hairpins. It was rather long and pokey, but I was told that that's okay.
Yeah, it's probably okay. I mean, I doubt they're trained, but it wasn't one of the companions, was it?
No, it was one of the younger ladies with the really fancy dresses. Her hair was all done up, and it had a whole bunch of different sticks in it.
Posh knobs. No offense, I know. Anyway.
It's okay.
Why are you working security? You could be doing anything.
I just wanted to. I wanted to learn.
You hungry? Sounds like your stomach's grumbling.
It's grumbling so much.
Sorry, I actually blanked on that because the dog was made me laugh.
Anyway. Oh, you know, that's not a bad idea, I think. Oh, hang on. Yeah, you know, I am a little bit hungry. I think I'm gonna go get some food. Do you want anything? I can show you where the mess hall is. We have our own special little space downstairs.
Yeah, sure. It's looking pretty quiet here anyway. I think it might get a bit rowdy later.
Oh,
Especially
you
once
think
the tournament starts.
Oh, but that's not for a few days. So I think that we're going to be okay. Well, I know that Sir Lucius Winthrop is a little bit touchy. He doesn't like losing.
Well, unfortunately, I think he might be one of our main employers, so best we can do is stop him from hitting anyone else, maybe? I don't know.
Hmm.
All right.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I was just thinking. No, but let's go get some food.
Sure. I'll let her escort me to the mess hall.
They lead you on down there, just excitedly chattering. They haven't been on very many spaceships. They're very much like core worlds kind of person, and so they're very excited for this.
Excellent.
Okay, and then that leads us to Jude and Tenzin. And I say this together because I know that you are in your own special, gigantic to you rooms because you are going to be working in the tournament here. So, what are the both of you doing right now?
Well, Jude is basically what Jude is trying to do is have like a sort of not a disguise, but it is kind of as a really obnoxious person from the outer rim planet.
Mm.
There's like too much makeup and bright colors and is way entirely too visible. So she's working on that and trying to if they're not in their room, trying to find somebody to teach poker. Jude knows how to play poker, but um, is asking for lessons loudly.
Oh, and absolutely, you would be able to find someone to teach you. You know what? Honestly, I feel like Sir Winthrop would be like in that poker space, just lording over things, trying to prove that he is better than everyone else at poker before the tournament even starts. So he loudly gestures excitedly for you to come. Come on, there's room at this table. You can join us.
Thank you. I'm just so
Have a
confused
seat.
about this game. I thought you wanted to get all the different color cards because they look nice together. Though you get the diamond and the little curly card, and they look pretty nice together. But I kind of like the card with the people on it. Those are fun too. What do you call those again?
I'm going to educate you, certainly. And he gestures to the lithe male companion who immediately just lights up a cigarette and hands it to him. And so first of all, I need you to roll covert here because you are trying to pull one over on him. So it's going to be covert, and I'm going to say either you can choose. I know that these are very drastic dice rolls, but either intelligence or willpower, depending on how you're playing this. Because if you're just trying to just push through and be like, yes, this is how I am, that's one thing. If you're trying to be calculating about it and how you say things, that would be the intelligence roll.
It's the intelligence roll. Jude has done this before.
Okay. Yep, so covert and intelligence then.
Is that a D10 and a D6 or a D4?
Yes, D10 and a D6. You've upped your covert.
I got 16.
Amazing. I had my finger on the hard, which is an 11. So you beat that by one step. You would have beaten a formidable. He absolutely believes you. And I would say with going one step above, it's not an extraordinary success on that difficulty level, but the companions on his arms, and for reference for anyone who has not watched Firefly, companions are legal sex workers. They are highly regarded. They are like the as Mal calls them, the ambassador to the ship, things like that, they open doors. And so he has these two companions at his side, and they are masters of reading body language and understanding what people are saying or not saying, and they believe you too. So you absolutely are able to get this lesson from Sir Winthrop. And what are you doing while you are taking this lesson? Like, what is your goal here? Because this is your mark. You think that you're supposed to kill him, I think, but
I'm actually getting his like is he actually good at his like kind of his place? If I have the chance, I'm just trying to just figure out his tells, his body.
Okay. So I'm going to say that this is an intuition and alertness roll. So that's a D8 and a D6 for you.
Do I get to use my reader trade at all?
Let me check that with reader. Yes, you would, because you're observing someone. So plus 2-step attribute to alertness, which brings it to a D10. So you're rolling a D8 and a D10.
Okay. I just 8 plus 13.
13. Sir Winthrop is not an amazing gambler. He's not really, really good at cards. He has a tell, and that's anytime he has a bad card, a bad hand, there's a little twitch at the corner of his mouth. And you know that he's upset. It's just very slight, but it's there. And it happens very often.
Yeah, so I think Jude is pretty pleased that they've been able to, beat a annoying outer rim planet person who has no idea about any of this fancy poker and ship stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, you know what? Let's roll one last thing. I'm gonna have you roll. It would be covert plus. Let's do intelligence because you're being smart about poker against his. And it's going to be just basically who wins this hand of cards. So let's see. That's that one and that one.
Okay, I got a 6.
He does beat you because I got a 12.
You know what? I did that on purpose. That's it. Yeah. Only on purpose.
Well, these things take time. You're going to be in the tournament in a couple of days.
Yeah. You think I'll win?
Maybe with some more practice. You should come in here a little bit more often, maybe bet some credits and you'll do better. I hear that gambling money tends to sweeten the pot and make it more likely for you to win the game.
Okay, I'll try to do that. But see, I spent my life savings to come up here, so I don't have a lot, but you think if I gamble like 10, 15 credits, that'll do it?
You never know.
Well, next time I have 10 credits, I'll win. I'll get all those.
Right, you are. We'll see you at the tournament. And he just kind of turns and starts talking to the rather curvy woman at his side and just completely ignores you.
That's okay. I'm going to win. I'm going to get the whatever cards he was talking about. Other. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. So lastly, Tenzin, we left you distraught that Landon had taken one of your precious bobbleheads and brought it with them to you on the El Dorado. And you responded by trying to punch them.
Completely reasonable.
Uh-huh. So in the aftermath of that, we'll say this is like in the span of the next day or so, what is Tenzin doing?
So, funny you should ask.
Uh-huh.
Tenzin is going to, at a time when the shuttle is not occupied, is going to go and get his grubby little mitts on some of Landon's stuff. And he is going to put them in the, well, not to put too fine a point on it, he's going to put them as far deep as he can get them into the nacelle for the thruster.
Interesting.
So, he's just going to shove them as far as he can in there and then leave them.
Okay, so first of all, I need you to do a covert about this, and I see that you do not have anything in covert.
Yeah.
So
I also need yeah.
I'm going to say your choice of how you're playing this. Is it alertness, intelligence, or willpower that you want to roll here? I know that they're all the same number.
Hilariously, they're all exactly the same.
Tell me the vibe that you're going for with it.
Committed to the holiness of vengeance. So very, very focused, very like dialed in. So I'm gonna argue for willpower.
Okay, so roll your willpower, and I'm gonna say for Landon. Let me look. Don't tell us your number yet. I need you to roll your stealthy movement specialty along with alertness.
No problem. See, this is why I buried so much of my important stuff in the ship before we left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's a 9.
Okay. Tenzin.
Can I burn some plot points?
What did you roll?
Lower than a 9.
Yes.
Can I rest? He broke
Can I help Tenzin?
How low below 9 did you roll?
Theoretically, I rolled one number lower than the normal number of fingers on a hand.
So you rolled a 4.
No, I rolled a 5. So
how many fingers are on your hand, Tenzin?
I'm saying no. I was talking about the difference between me and you.
I'm so confused. So you rolled a 5.
I rolled a 5.
You would need to spend 5 of your 6 plot points for the session.
Yep.
Before you spend all those, I just want Tenzin to know it'd be mostly clothes. I didn't bring my garden, and or my gun. So it'd be a lot of clothes and maybe some books.
It's going in the nacelle if I can get it in there.
Okay, if you truly want to spend 5 plot points of your grand total of 6 for the session, you are welcome to do that.
I have no hinges. I fell out of the silly tree and hit every branch on the way down. This is worth it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So You managed to do this. Landon, what does Tenzin find and steal from you?
Oh man, some of my more formal cruise attire, which is just as dirty as my normal attire, but is like cut a little more to the knees and the elbow to make things spicy. I'll say a couple books that he will definitely be like, I'm pretty sure I brought those, and would be a little thrown off by it, but he has his void book on him at all times. It won't be the first time Landon has nothing. So he's dead broke to begin with. So this, it might take him a second to notice, but he'll notice at some point, but he might even think it was just himself accidentally not packing everything. Who would take my dirty rags? Just filled a talcum powder on the inside so I'm smooth.
I am also wheezing.
Yeah, when you
My
squeeze them, it
cheeks
puffs in your
hurt
face.
from laughing. I'm in pain.
Oh, goodness.
That's
So-
when you do bad things when the engine turns on.
I didn't plan on them going on an engine.
This is very true. So, Tenzin, you have managed to sneak away one of the many times that Landon came and went and came and went. You managed to do your stealthy situation. So, I would say it takes probably a day or two as it is underway heading to Bellerophon before all 5 of you are able to properly safely meet. With the added complication of your shuttle is on this ship, but it's in the same space as many companion shuttles as well, which means that the access to this point is very limited. So you have to find a different area to meet. So would you say that you would go to either Jude or Tenzin's room for that?
I think Jude's room probably makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I opened my room up for that.
I agree with that. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay, so the 3 of you who have not been into one of these rooms yet enter in, and it is just very large open space, like very decorated. It does not feel like you are on a spaceship when you are in this room. It has its
so
own
shiny.
bathroom off to one side. It's not a pull down within a tiny cramped space.
Well, I guess this explains why I have to share a tiny space with a baby.
Sorry, you have to.
International space. There's no label laws out here, Echo.
Just
Angie,
got
what are your
stung
security
with it.
quarters like?
They're just a kid, really. Not literally a baby. Oh, no.
I mean, you can stay here. I don't think you can. I don't think you're allowed to.
No, I've got a good thing going, I think. They trust me. I'm just security as far as they know. And I found out some pretty interesting things, too.
What have you found out?
Starters, those display cabinets where all the artifacts are, they're not even going to take them out for the auction. They're just going to wheel the boxes through. They're magnetically connected to the floor.
That changes everything, doesn't it? A little bit.
So we don't even need to break those cases open to get what's inside. We just need to override the maglocks on the bases. Probably.
And presumably breaking the magnets will be less, immediately alarm-y than trying to smash the glass and or take them out.
I expect so. But if we can time it around the time that the actual auction is going on, it'll be a lot easier too.
That was going to be my question. Are we planning to take it during the auction, during the poker game, or some other time entirely? Because we've got a couple different openings and that stop in the middle and the turnaround before the actual auction takes place.
You do. All I can say is that during the actual tournament, I'd probably have to be on duty in the casino. So if you want me to use my security pass to get anywhere, should probably be outside that time. Or I can maybe lend it to you if you can sneak it back to me while I'm just hanging around.
Thinking the card game would probably be a wonderful moment for a distraction if we wanted to create one elsewhere to grab the goods at the same moment. There could be a lot of eyes on the poker game, especially if one of the players started cheating.
If we take it during the poker game, are we then planning to flee with it when the ship makes its first planet stop? Since I feel like staying on the cruise for the next week and a half to discover it missing might be a questionable decision.
Well, we have to get our ship. Our ship's not parked here.
Can our shuttle detach and go on its own? Okay, so we don't have to necessarily wait to get back to Ariel.
Yeah, it does have much more limited fuel, and also like all five of you can go on it, but that's gonna be very cramped.
Don't worry, I can make it work.
But what if I won the tournament because I'm getting Sir Winthrop himself is teaching me how to play poker, so I might win.
That's phenomenal. Does he know how to teach poker? Is he good at it?
No, he's terrible, but he's teaching me how to play.
How many days can this ship go where our shuttle can no longer get back to our ship?
Would I know the answer to that?
You probably would, but I do not. So let me see. So it has life support for 20 man days. I like how they phrase that. Okay. So the capacity is up to 8 passengers on the fold down benches. So that's something you can all fit. Speed class is 1 cruise / 3 hard burn, which is lovely because I hate doing the math for this thing. I would say you would be able to get most of the way back to Ariel where your ship is if you leave within the first 6 days.
I notice you said most of the way back. I have some problems with that. Mostly the most of the way part.
Really?
So, follow-up question, because I've been in the area. In the cargo bay, in the hangar bay where all the ships are and all the shuttles. Did I, in my discerning nature, notice a shuttle that might have longer range than ours?
I think a better question to ask is, did you notice any fuel cells that were being stored?
That question, yes. That is definitely the question I asked you. I don't know why you're referencing a different question.
Seeing as they might question if the people who brought the shuttle, whose names are absolutely on the docket for being on the ship, might question why they abandoned their shuttle on this cruise and just disappeared when an artifact disappeared. Just simple things.
It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say go ahead and roll. It's going to be a perception roll. Do you have anything in perception?
I have a D6, but I also have a D8 if I use sight.
Which it absolutely is.
Yes.
So it's going to be that and alertness.
Okay, watch me get 2 of the same, like every other time I've rolled 2.
Knocking on wood.
That is a 15.
A 15. Holy moly. That beats a formidable. While you were wandering around, you noticed that there was an area that was absolutely cargo bay section, absolutely not where you were supposed to be. There was an area where there was a very clear sign of a box that said Blue Sun fuel cells.
Well, shave me bald and call me a mole rat.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't worry about it.
They can chew through metal, Tenzin.
It's a saying.
Uh-huh. So we flash back to you seeing that and flash forward again to this moment here.
So we could take some fuel. There's some Blue Sun fuel cells. We can take a couple of them to extend our range.
And that'll get us back to the Halo?
Oh, easily. Also looks over at our wonderfully not scary engineer / mechanic / bodyguard / terrifying person. If we need a distraction, kaboom.
You want to set off explosive device on this very expensive cruise ship on which we are currently occupying.
I was thinking as we're leaving.
You want to potentially kill how many people are on board this ship?
Oh, hundreds. Easily.
Good point.
Well, what if we exploded like the gravity machine? So nobody died, they just started floating around and were stalled for hours on end.
It's doable.
Or we abandon the heist and just make sure we win this poker game and then split it up.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of taking things from rich people
That's fair.
and
We can do
giving them
both.
to us.
I mean,
More to the point.
personally, I think that if we win the poker game and also steal this, we will in fact be taking quite a lot of things from rich people, which seems like the optimal, I think the maximum amount of things.
But also,
Do we only want to steal one thing? If we
I was
get all the
gonna ask
magnets
that.
off, yeah. I mean,
So what if?
Fair point.
How many of those zap bombs do you have?
zap bombs?
The
EMPs.
those.
Oh, Angie, do you remember how many we ended up with? I can't find a lot of the stuff I thought I packed, so I'm pretty sure I left a bag back on the ship. I'm sorry if I smell a little. Don't have all my clothes.
What was the thing you were getting out of the compartment again when I was
Probably
hanging out in the shuttle?
Some bread, maybe a length of cloth, probably something like that.
Really? It looked kind of metally.
I was just answering with averages. I tend to be grabbing bread and cloth usually.
The average of bread and cloth is metal?
No, that would be more of a fringe situation. I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, I was grabbing something. What was it? I don't remember, actually, Echo.
Huh.
That was when you were sitting on the floor talking about your mom being on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Your mum
That's
was
right.
on
I
the
remember
ship.
now.
She didn't see you, did she? Or
You
did
have a
she?
mom?
Well, if you've seen the very tall red hair wearing outfits that look like they cost more than the GDP of a small planet, yeah, that one, that's her. Titania Hyde, she's great. She's playing in the tournament.
Tony Maha. Echo. Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty big news, Echo.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Look, I wasn't I wasn't initially sure she was here or any other members of my family. And by the time I found out, we were on our way here, and she and my uncle, who is also here, side note, don't know about any of you, I will say. And I did not mention any of you, and I'm not planning to. So if we're out in public, please feel free to pretend like you have not met me.
Are you ashamed of us, Echo?
Not,
Because I've been in some poly situations that sounded a lot like this. Not allowed to hold hands, things like that. And I just, we like your secret ship on the side. It'd just be better to know.
No, that is, you know, I do see that picture. I see that picture, but this is more if my family members try to pull me back home on charges of sabotaging a bunch of our home security systems, that I don't want all of you to get caught into that mess too.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yes, you're like an expert.
Did you say
Very
sabotage?
exciting.
Do we get to sabotage something? What do we sabotage?
Politician.
I feel like the magnets, honestly. I don't know tech the way that most of you do, but I do know how to break things, because normally you look at the thing and then you hit it very hard with something else that's very hard. I don't know if that's how magnets work, though, which is my follow-up question, is how do we break the magnets? And follow-up question, are we just going to wheel things onto the shuttle? Because that feels almost too simple, but it'd be great.
Have you ever like taken two magnets and put them together and watched them just like play with the forces of them? Isn't that fun?
No one knows how magnets work is the issue.
Group poll, do any of us know how magnets work? Raise our hands.
Just like ICP, none of us know how magnets work.
Okay, good. Angie and the captain know. That makes me actually so much more relieved.
you should have told us about your mum and your uncle.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Well, maybe we can use this to our advantage. What do you think, Jude?
Are you inviting them for dinner?
Even if I did, I don't think they would come, but that's a nice image. Thank you for asking.
Well, I'll just plan for them to join us.
An invite from the captain might be pretty respectful, actually.
Honestly, yeah. And specifically, I also really, really think you should beat them at poker.
Oh, I'm learning from the best. So
okay.
He has beat me like 4 times, and I've lost about 40 credits to him.
You were playing him for cash.
Yeah, he said that was the best way, was to play him for cash, and he always wins against me. Funny how that.
He would say that. I think Sir Lucius Winthrop has your best interests in mind, Jude.
Oh, you mean Lucky? He's fine. He's great.
Oh no.
Once you name them, we can't just abandon them on the ship.
I can.
No, it's okay. He's totally teaching me to play. Everything's above the board. I'm certain that I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at any rate, I don't think we should rely on our success at poker for our financial gains on this trip.
And besides, I think the maximum winning prize still wouldn't be enough to get the statue specifically. So we got to get that out of there.
Yeah, we're going to have to steal it.
So which of you is actually going to take this while we do this?
Captain, which politician did you want to kill too? Just while we're getting our plan together. Had you met them yet?
Yeah, Lucky.
Okay, so we're going to kill Lucky. And when there's other discussion going on, I'm going to tell Angie where I hid that gun in the flower pot.
What are you talking about?
I grow increasingly confused.
Okay, so currently, are we going to attempt to... Unfortunately, the two people who raised their hands for knowing magnets, it does sound like, are both going to be at the poker tournament. As
Yeah.
it stands, I think the only two of us that have a plausible reason not to be there are me and Landon.
I've never been attracted to magnets.
They're only attracted to each other.
Yeah.
Let's break the plan down a bit more. First things first, I reckon it wouldn't be too hard to steal a few fuel cells, which we're going to need if we want to get off this ship before it returns.
Can we get any of our magic bombs onto the ship, Angie? Can you think, not magic, sorry, our EMP? Can you think of any way we could get those past security? Because one of those could be real useful for a distraction, but there's security.
I don't see any reason why security couldn't get that past.
A question. Okay, so there's... Assuming that we have a way to mess with the magnetized bases, there's the statues that are there, and the only other major problems to me seem to be there's a camera focused on them, and there's a guard on the stairs. For the camera, I have an Echo pulls out, goes deep into their bag, and they pull out it looks almost like a little kind of grid of metal. I have a thing called a comm capture, which records a still image and then overlays it. And I might not be the best at getting it on there, but that could jam them for a little bit. For the person, the guard, is there a way to make sure that either, Angie, that's you who's on guard, or could we set off an EMP if Landon has one? You know, I don't know if you brought any. As you said, you don't remember, but could we set that off and maybe get the guard to go take a look at it if we break some non-essential system or something? Come walking down and say, hey, the microwave in my suite has been broken. Could you please go fix it for me? And then take the statues and leave.
Do we know if security fixes microwaves?
Angie, question: How are guards all babies?
Sadly not. Some of them are really experienced.
Oh, fuck.
If only they were all like my roommate. Unfortunately, I recognize some of them, at least the unit they used to be from. The bad news, and if really we want to avoid tangling them with them if we can.
All right.
I've never fought a baby.
Who's going to be there? Who's
I heard there's a club somewhere where you can do that, but very exclusive.
guarding the stairs? Who has stair duty?
Yes, is that something that you have access to, Angie, like the roster, or?
I can see most of the basic security files, yeah. But for everything, I'd need to get hold of DeWitt's security pass. Let's head to the security.
Is this for
Okay.
taking care of security on our way out, or is this for a distraction of another time? Because if it's on our way out, we could just clock them.
I can supply you with a full list of where and when security are going to be at various points.
Could we get a
Fairly
security
predictable.
extra outfit? Because I have a disguise kit.
I don't think we got official uniforms, so it's more a low-key sort of thing. Like at any casino.
I had packed actually one, but I can't find it. I guess I didn't pack it. I had it. It was a surprise for everyone. I had a security uniform, but I'm not able to find it with any of my things now. So I'm not sure. I must have left it on the other ship. Sorry.
Everything's getting misplaced. We should have packed the shuttle better.
Yeah, I had a bunch of bulletproof vests. I had a really nice like pilot hat for Tenzin. I don't know. I think we got robbed.
I don't quite know how you would go about changing the security system, but it might be worth at least looking into, Angie, if you could somehow be the one stationed there. I don't know how we do that, but that would solve a lot of problems right off the bat.
I'll do what I can. I'm trying to get in with them a bit more. But mostly I'm just being tailed by my roommate. It's made getting hold of certain things a bit more difficult.
You didn't get tailed here, did you?
Nah. I know how to shake a tail, Jude. Honestly.
Is your roommate ever the one who's on guard?
I think they... do I know? Like, or has she literally just been assigned to me because I'm experienced and she's not?
So they do have a set schedule. They are absolutely on the roster. They just don't know where half the things are on the ship. And so you directing them where to go, absolutely helpful. They are on the schedule, occasionally guarding that staircase.
Interesting.
So are we thinking 2 people poker, distraction, 2 people grab the artifact, we all rush back to the shuttle, don't want a guard there, and then we take off? Is that the order of ops we're sort of speaking in?
My thought is perhaps we don't even... The poker tournament's a pretty big distraction on its own, and it's one that they're expecting. If we, blow up or disable something else at the same time, then that tips them off that something's happening. But if we could get away with just quietly taking it while a poker tournament is going on, poker tournament wraps, wait maybe a couple minutes, everyone quietly meanders over to the shuttle, and then we can leave before they realize something's happened. The longer that they don't know something's happened, the easier our lives are.
What happens?
The last thing we want to do is put security on high alert. So yeah.
What happens when you lose in a poker tournament? Like, do you leave the room?
I think they throw you out of the ship.
Yeah, I saw a movie called Maverick where they did that.
Oh no. No, I ask because if one of us loses, perhaps we could work on the what we're actually doing.
Somebody could always, when it comes to, I feel like stuff like this, there's what happens and then there's the social conventions of it all, because just like Sir Lucius Winthrop is a sore loser, somebody could lose and then be really upset about it and dramatically throw their cards down and stomp out of the room, and then oops, there they go.
We get the item back to the ship, y'all get kicked out of the game, so they tell you to leave.
Oh no,
because I don't know if there's a tractor beam and we're not going to be able to get away from our parking spot or not either.
Oh no, I'm going to win.
Oh, we can do that. We could win.
Also, Landon, there's no such thing as a tractor beam.
We used them on the farm all the time when I lived in Iowa, actually. You plant them. Some people call them legumes.
This is a very well-known settlement out on the rim. It was actually on Shadow pre-war.
Mm.
Deeply embedded.
We definitely want to finish the card game. We don't want that. Okay, we want to deal.
The longer that the card game goes, the more time we have to steal things.
Precisely.
I was just saying if one of us happened to lose. I'm not saying any names. Just if it happened.
I think we got a great plan, everybody. Like, I don't really see any way this could go wrong.
We just currently need to figure out the magnetism and make sure that it's
Magnets,
a doll on guard, I think. And then, yeah, everything will go smoothly.
Hey, Echo.
Good.
Hi.
How's it going? I'm going to try to not drop all of my books because I'm pulling up your character sheet. I love that I said pulling up as if it was on my computer, but no, it's physical copies.
Well, you're pulling it up
Excellent.
closer to the...
Yeah, that's true. I would love for you to roll
Oh, no.
technical engineering and intelligence.
I have more of a stat in tech than I thought. I shouldn't say that. The dice will hear me. Why did I say that? Don't. I didn't say that.
roll
It's
as
fine.
well, given I know about this sort of thing?
Absolutely.
That is a 10.
Okay.
Which is not what I thought that was. And I'll put a plot point into that to make it an 11.
Okay.
Okay, I also got an 11.
Amazing. So, one of the things that I just wanted to see if you would know enough about to explain to you all is the EMPs that you have. Questionable how many there are, of course. So, looking at the basic space of that area where all of the display cases are, I forget how many I said there were. I'll say it's a dozen. Over the span of that room, if you place enough EMPs, you realize you can set them all off and it will make that space go dark. And not only go dark, but it will also deactivate the cameras and the magnets.
Interesting. Oh, how convenient.
The only thing about deactivating everything all at once is it'll be pretty obvious for anyone sitting in the security office with the cameras if it goes dark.
But it'll all go dark. Huh. Well, we
Just
have
putting
our
that
way
out
out of the,
there.
we have our way out of the magnetism, so that's good.
Strange that we figured out hyperspeed before magnets, but I guess the world is mysterious for certain reasons.
Hey, it's all about priorities, okay? It's all about priorities.
On the other hand, if I've got an excuse to escort someone from the casino for rowdy behavior, we take them to the security office to process them first.
So I
If I
could
happen to
disguise
be there
myself
at the
as
same time as whoever's on duty watching the cameras, maybe take care of them before they could raise the alarm.
like take care of them.
Do what was necessary.
All
I
right,
could
so
disguise myself
who's-
as Echo to do the healing thing, so Echo could be free to go steal them.
Huh. I was about to say who's gonna make a scene and need to get taken away, because that could work
Unless
really
we
well,
want two
actually.
people on the thieving mission specifically.
Can't imagine those cases are light, so probably having two of you to move them would be a good idea.
If there was no gravity, we could move them very easily.
Have you
But if
ever,
there's no gravity, then there probably is magnetism because we can't use them everywhere.
have you ever done any zero-G operations, Landon?
No, I never got further than H. I couldn't afford the weekly lessons after that, so I went as far as 0H, but never further. Started at W, it goes
it might
backwards.
make everything a lot less heavy, so to speak, but moving about in zero-G is not that easy.
I have some
Anything can
slime.
make things more difficult.
I have some slime for the bottom of our shoes. I bought a whole bucket of slime a couple cities back.
Why did you-
Landon.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Did
what we've
GM
got
let
so
me?
far, if I'm stealing fuel cells,
Mhm.
poker tournaments, we have somebody is going to win that, hopefully. But
Captain, I think.
But the poker tournament certainly going on. 2 of us definitely playing in it. Somebody gets escorted out of the poker tournament, quite possibly Landon by Angie, ? And then that gets us into the security office and leaves the 2 of you free. And then set off the EMPs to disable the magnetism and cameras. Presumably also potentially talk Adal, if it's them, away from the staircase and wheel the containers out, and then goodbye, we're free.
Wait, why am I getting into the security office? Is it to handle the people there?
It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay. Or to drive
I think it was more that we were considering having somebody be an excuse for Angie and one other person to be allowed to leave and also to go to the security office and shut it down. Would you like that to be you? Would you like that to be me? I can probably make a scene if I turn up at the poker tournament.
How much would your mom hate that, though, versus if I did it?
You know, it would make my relatives on this ship very mad, but then if they saw me get, removed by security, it might make them happy again. I don't know.
Just yell out your last name the whole time as you're being carted off. They hate that.
You're not worried they might pull some sort of status to try and get you off the hook from security?
There is that. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if I could not tell you if they care more about their image or me getting punished.
Proposition.
Those are the 2 options.
2 players in the card game, Echo and I out of the card game, but whichever the player is looking like they're going to be losing by its time to do this, that player can cause a big upheaval, and then Angie can take either Captain or Tenzin to security.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Versus only one person being responsible for getting the items.
Agreed. Tenzin and Captain, would that be okay with you?
I mean, sure, but someone else is going to be getting arrested because I'm going to be fine.
And she just raises an eyebrow.
All right.
I get no respect.
In that case, we have a plan and some fuel cells to steal and some security guards schedules to review.
Echo, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
What embarrasses your family the most?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great. It's my favorite question I've been asked all week. I think probably, if I had to bet, whole family or just my mom.
It's always different.
Your
It
mom,
varies.
who seems to be the most important to piss off, but also your whole family.
Whole family. It's just anything that involves people laughing at them. They like to be taken very seriously, and that's especially true for my mom. I think her being caught out for not playing a right move or not having a handle on a situation or just anything that makes other people laugh.
And is your name actually Echo?
No, my name's Aeschylus. Aeschylus Hyde, but I'm feeling pretty attached to Echo these days, so you can use the other one for whatever leverage you like, full permission, but you can keep calling me Echo, just between us.
Okay, I'm not going to do anything. I don't have any plans. I just wanted to know.
Happy to share.
And the captain's rules is we don't ask too many questions about anyone that joins us. But I am curious, why did you mess up your home security at your folks' place?
Probably was really fun. Was it fun?
It was really fun. Oh, it was great. Literally best evening of my life. No, I don't really do much. I taught myself all the medical stuff just on my own. My job is to sit out of the way and not cause social problems. I wanted to go do medical things. Specifically, I wanted to go work on the rim, and I was told, no, that's an image problem. And my uncle's a pretty corrupt politician, takes a lot of bribes from Blue Sun. So I broke all these locks to the safe where those documents live, so he couldn't take any more. And then I left.
So, Echo, according to my documents, I am from one of the Outer Rim planets. So, your captain on the ship that you're working on probably takes you out there all the time. That helps it.
Absolutely.
And now you're going to fight a whole army of babies. Man.
Do they have baby-sized armor? Why are they
That's
doing
what
that to
I'm
the babies?
gathering. I had no idea till Captain told us.
Seems quite cruel.
Don't you know what to do?
That's true. Who teaches them how to investigate?
You go to a facility. A lot of training.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Probably
facility?
so they can do real great when the gravity's taken away. They can just like crawl through the air. They're not used to walking.
So that's only in the 0G. That's only in the 0G training. Not everybody does
Right.
that.
I only got to H. That's true.
Sorry, there's a facility where they train babies?
Actually, probably not far from the truth.
Anya, can you tell us more about the facility that trains the baby mercenaries for this part of the galaxy? Just so we can all be on the same page.
Yes, absolutely. I will do that. Right now, no. And I think that this ridiculousness is a really great place for us to take our 15-minute break. So stick around, everyone, and don't forget to subscribe to Girls Run These Worlds Twitch and YouTube channels, and hydrate or die straight and take your meds, and we'll be back soon. Bye. Wait. and welcome back to this game of Into the Black, Serenity RPG. Last we left off before the break, the crew of the Halo were plotting their plans to win the poker tournament on this cruise spaceship that they're on, and also steal a whole bunch of stuff from an auction that rich people have donated to. So that is a solid plan, an organized plan. I'm sure that every single step of it will absolutely function exactly as you intended.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Insight check.
Oh, and I will note, before I was being vague about, oh yeah, you'll be able to get most of the way home, I will note that there are 2 planets that are kind of in alignment that you would be able to get to if needed with the shuttle. So Bernadette is close by but out of your way for getting back to Ariel. Or if you wanted to, you could go to Lianjun, but that is a yellow-hued kind of industrial space. They wanted it to be a nice, lovely core planet, but the chemicals in the planet mixed badly with the terraforming, and it makes it kind of noxious, like rotten eggs smell to be there. That is actually on your way to Ariel. So just as a note, those are those 2 there. I was trying to recall in my mind which ones they were, so I had to look it up in my book. But in any case, the start of your plan, where would you like to begin? Is there anything that you want to do before the poker tournament itself? If not, we can fast forward to day 4. Landon, what would you like to do?
With this being over like a couple days, I'd like to chat up some of the working class folks that drive some of the other shuttles here, and possibly line up a potential separate way off the ship for myself if that's needed.
Interesting. For yourself, specifically.
Especially if one of them's leaving sooner than the end.
Okay.
Like a delivery truck, ship.
Okay. I'm going to say roll deduction plus let's do willpower.
What would deduction be underneath?
Oh, I forget.
Perception.
Yeah, it's under perception.
I
sorry. I wasn't sure if you had named it something different, because some of them I named things that made sense to my brain pan.
So that is a D8 and a D12.
This is going to be formidable.
That's beautiful, because that's 16.
Okay, you beat formidable by 1. So you note that while they had gotten most of their supplies on Ariel, as you're passing by Lianjian, it actually does pick up more supplies because they can't keep up with the alcohol consumption and also real proper food. Y'all aren't getting protein bricks. You're getting real food, which is one of the nice perks of being on a cruise. So even the guards for Angie will be getting food, maybe not like the highest quality that everyone else is getting. None of these fancy like sponge sugar decorations. There are no massive dragons made out of chocolate by a French-speaking chocolatier or anything like that. But still, you have very, very delicious food. And so, so supplies need to come and go. And so I would say probably on the 3rd day, either the night, because what's night in the black, night of the 3rd day or morning of the fourth day, there would be a supply that had come through. And they dock at the cargo bay and are loading everything out. And with your deduction plus willpower, you notice that there are a couple of them, a couple of the pilots just hanging around, chatting, just conversations. And there's just a couple of people there that you can talk to if you would like.
I probably wouldn't use my dignified voice. I'd speak more naturally, but
Your dignified voice.
I'd slip them some credits and have a whole story about I have a sick mother and I'm hoping she lasts, but if there's a last minute I need to get off the ship, could I tag along if you're around? But not putting any burden on them to wait for me or anything like that.
And the older gentleman, handlebar mustache, it's the neatest thing about him. He just kind of gives you a look over and says, I don't see why not. We're here for a couple of days, but, sick mom, that's rough. We can get you as far as Langjing. We have to head back, but there are some regular transport shuttles you can hitch a ride with, get back over that direction.
That's that very fragrant planet, right? All the sulfur springs.
I wish it was less fragrant, to be honest, but, it pays the bills. It's a decent place to live. You just have to have something under your nose to cut the smell. Or you get used to it.
10 credits just as a thank you, just in case. And I really appreciate it. Being a man of the cloth, I just don't always have a bunch of means to be hopping around the galaxy. So I appreciate you looking out, but if I miss you, it was good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Name's Alexander if you need me.
Landon Cornflower.
Nice to meet you, Landon. Hopefully your mom's okay and you don't have to come on with us.
I hope the same, sir. I hope the same. And that's all I wanted to take care of that day.
Okay.
Is there a gift shop?
Oh, absolutely. Because this is a mix of people on this. There are the extremely wealthy, and there are the wish that they could be extremely wealthy, like the people who are trying to pretend, that kind of thing. And then there are just average people who manage to scrounge the money together to be able to go on this cruise ship. Just having a blast. But yes, there's a gift shop here. I would say, let me look at our lovely map. I would say that where would it be? That's 13. That's the main mess. Let's not have it there. You know what? Yeah, sure. The number 13 on deck 3 for our lovely viewers. We have maps. You do not. I'm so sorry. But that's where the gift shop is. It is attached to the dining salon and out in the direction of where the display cases for the auction are. And so you're able to get over there. What kind of things are you looking for?
The first thing I want is the most obnoxious, bright, flashy accessory that somebody could get. Tacky.
Okay. Like, are you talking about like a scarf, a necklace, giant sunglasses? What are you looking for?
Tattoo?
Either like giant sunglasses or a hairpiece, something, if it has lights that flash, that's even better.
Oh, yes. I would say not the sunglasses, but you would be able to get one of those, the derby hats that women in the UK wear, those massive, like, feathery concoctions. Absolutely. It looks like a planet with rings, I would say. And the rings are flashing and spinning.
Oh, yes. I want to get that hat and just put it on.
Absolutely. I would say that probably costs you just 5 credits.
What a bargain.
Mm-hmm. Costs
You
less
didn't
than
even
half
have to
a
make
credit to
it.
make.
But then I just wanted to get like small souvenirs for my crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would say, like, you describe what you want to find for them. It'll cost you in total probably about 10, 15 credits, depending.
Is there a bobblehead for Tenzin?
Oh, yes, there would be. I feel like because this is called the El Dorado, it would be like an explorer who is like has a sword like thrust outward, and they're standing on a pile of gold. And then their heads just bobbling along.
Definitely going to get that for Tenzin. And for Landon, I guess just I don't think they're going to have something with secret pocket. So like a scarf.
A scarf. Okay. There are scarves that have like the pockets in them, like that you wrap around, and yeah.
Yeah, one of those. For Echo, just a souvenir first aid kit, the little cheap one.
Yes.
Like Band-Aid in it.
One of each size of Band-Aid in it.
And for Angie, I don't think they're going to have any weapons. So,
No.
do they have those hairpins there that are like super sharp and pointy?
Ooh, they would, and they have like little planets dangling off of the ends of them.
I'm going to get Angie one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 15 credits for everything.
Awesome. And yes, I'm going to wear this obnoxious hat, especially for the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
If you see the hat, you know it's going to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Choice.
Yes. There is a power button to turn it off, but why on earth would you do that?
No, this thing is going to be on, and then you'll know exactly where Judy is all the time.
Sorry, why on earth would you do that? I realized it as I finished saying it. I was like, no, that's wrong. Perfect. So do you distribute the gifts, or are they going to be for later?
Can I distribute the gifts, but like covertly, so that people don't see me with a giant hat on?
Okay, so if you're going to try to be covert, where are my character sheets? There they are.
We all just roll some sort of perception to see if we miss the hat.
Realistically, you have a d6 in covert. So Jude, roll covert plus alertness. Everyone else, it's going to be alertness plus some kind of perception. So Tenzin, you can do your sight ability. Does Angie have something? No, just regular perception. If you have something else that you want to argue for, you're welcome to.
Honestly, I'm not going to argue for intuition for this one.
No.
I'm not going to do that.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Got a 15. How did I do that good?
7.
I only have 56 to roll, so let's see what I get.
Well, no, you roll the 2. You roll the 2 dice. It's covert plus alertness.
Isn't that 2d6s?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I only heard the 1d6. What?
Is that the second time because you rolled max on both die last time too? That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Amazing. The dice tell a story. So
you
rolled
too.
a 12. So anyone who rolled under a 12, you find your strange new presence where? Jude, where do you put their presents?
I guess like right at their door, or like
on the inside of their door, maybe.
Yeah, if I could get in.
Mm-hmm. I would say easily enough. We can hand wave locks for a moment, but you're able to.
Do Echo and I have rooms on the shuttle, or are we just sleeping where everyone rides?
You are chilling, like you have like cots or sleeping bags or something set up on either end.
We're just having a sleeping bag, just sleep over in the floor on the floor of the shuttle.
Yeah.
It's
Because
all
your
Lord of the
shuttle is
Flies.
not made to be slept in. It is just a shuttle. It is a transport shuttle for supplies and doing runs.
Okay, it would be like on their sleeping bag then.
Like Christmas morning.
Who rolled over a 12? Was it just Echo? So as Jude is there setting these presents down, you walk in.
I think I walk in and just clock this, and then Echo's eyes, like very pointedly, you see Echo just kind of unfocus and just like do and just keeps going and pretend I do not see this. I want to let it happen as stealthy. So I'm just gonna, I saw nothing. Where did this come from? Oh my god.
You have like 3 band-aids now.
I will use them. That is phenomenal. The more the better.
I was told last
Realistically.
session you couldn't help me if I was cut, and that you couldn't do anything with the skin.
Sorry, what?
Wait, now you can. You have band-aids. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have 3 so I can help you 3 times. And then we're done again. Echo shoves the like 2 pounds of medical equipment further down into the floor of his medical bag. Beautiful. They have little patterns on them and everything.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. And Angie, Tenzin, was there anything that you wanted to do in these couple of days before the tournament?
Probably look puzzled at the hairpin, realizing that my hearing some hissing.
Yeah.
Realizing that I don't actually have that much hair to pin up as such, but I'll just shrug and like just stick it in the lapel of my fancy suit. But I think Angie is now taking a good amount of time to really become Adal's best friend. Since the human element is the biggest imponderable in this scenario, so they want to get them wrapped around their little finger if possible.
Amazing.
And against their better judgment, we'll spend a lot of time talking with them.
And they are very excited to kind of just tag along. It's kind of like ducklings. They just follow you, whatever you do. Like they try to like change their shifts a little bit so that they can be on shift with you. They're just very excited about this, making a new friend. You get the sense that over the course of the couple of days, they don't have a lot of friends. Partially maybe because people think that they're a little bit much, which isn't a bad thing. Tenzin, are you doing anything over these days? Or are you just chilling in your room?
I think Tenzin is very much just... Tenzin is Tenzining. Kind of trying to hype himself up, psych himself up for the coming shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe trying to think about how... He's trying to think about the fastest way he could get not just himself, but the crew away.
Yeah.
Does he like the new bobblehead?
He does like the new bobblehead. It doesn't make up for the one that was broken, but he does like the new bobblehead.
I didn't press charges.
I might. My bobblehead, man. It's important.
Okay, so what are you doing to assess this? Like planning out trajectories, like figuring out flight paths, all of that. What are you doing?
I think a combination of planning out flight paths, but also not just in terms of what is most effective, but
Mhm.
also what places could we go with our ship that would be hard for other ships to follow us? So very much, what are places we can go that are dangerous or risky?
Well, funny you should say that, because hilariously, your ship's name is Halo, and there is the halo around White Sun, which is an asteroid field. So you could always jettison out that way. The risky side of that being, there's not a lot out there.
And we only have our shuttle currently,
Yes,
right?
you currently only have your shuttle. So if you were to do that, might be a smidge of a problem in terms of fuel cells. Roll astrogation and intelligence for me.
Astrogation and intelligence. I have a feeling one of those dice is really bad. Oh, no, actually, they're all okay. Okay.
It's impossible for astrogation to be bad. It's a specialty.
I was worried my intelligence wasn't good, but I didn't need to worry about that. Everything's fine. Why would you ask? Okay, got my dice. Roll my dice. Oh, that's bad. That's an 8.
An 8. You only have one plot point left, so I'm not going to ask you if you want to bump it up. It
was worth it, damn it.
As you say.
No regrets.
No raggarts. It's difficult to find a space where no one will find you that is also safe, especially being in White Sun, being in the core of the verse, because Alliance patrols here all the time. So it's not even just, oh, let's go out to the Halo and there's the asteroid belt there. It's, oh, right, the Alliance patrollers are always around. There's the massive patrol ships that are cities in their own right that will chart a course through White Sun, keeping an eye out for any sort of troublemakers and scavengers and things like that. If you were to go to Bernadette, you could fuel up again, but you'd basically be jumping from planet to planet with barely enough fuel to do that. Honestly, your best course of action, in your opinion as a pilot, would be gather those extra fuel cells, as many as you can, and then book it back over to Ariel, because you know that once you're on your ship, you will be fine. And once you're on your ship, you can get to the drop at Persephone that you know you have to make.
Alrighty. But yeah, that's what's going through Tenzin's chaotic little two brain cells.
Okay. Which brings us to day 1 of the poker tournament. People they were in their best dress from the beginning. It is even more wild and fancy now. Those chandeliers in the poker salon, they were stationary before, but now they begin to shift and float and rotate and create almost like a dancing pattern in the ceiling up above. There are easily 200-300 people crowded into this room, all wanting to watch the participants. They're not just people who are like in the tournament itself, there are people who are gambling on the gamblers, like trying to figure out who's going to win and betting on that as well. So it is a very big deal with lots of spectators. Not everyone. There is, of course, the auditorium where there are singing performances and like short 1-hour versions of big musicals going on and things of that nature. So there are things going on all the time because while a lot of people, most people are here for this poker tournament or the auction later on, not everyone's here for that, or they want other things to do. But it is loud and bustling. And Tenzin and Jude, you are here in this space ready to begin the tournament. I'm just going to roll to randomize who you end up with. Okay. You're not at the same table together to start. So Jude, you end up at a table with, I don't know how many people are supposed to be playing poker together, so I'm going to say 6 total at a table. And so there are 10 tables in this first round. And there are some that end very quickly, some that take much longer. And so Jude, you are at a table with a very austere looking woman. She is older, gray haired, very toothy grin, and she introduces herself as Lady Morrow. Best of luck, dear. I hope that you do well at your first tournament.
Thank you. You like my hat? I got this from the gift shop.
It's very bright.
I love it. This is going to be great. I go back home, I show everybody. I'm, from one of the outer rim planets, so we don't have a lot like this out there.
Yes, I can tell. Yes. Best of luck, dear.
We could hang out after this. You and me, 2 girls out on the cruise.
Right. We'll see how the tournament goes first, shall we?
Okay, but that, you know what? It's a dinner invitation. I'm going to buy you dinner when I win.
Dinners on the cruise are part of a ticket, so there's no paying for dinners here.
Oh, right. So that's okay. Yeah. So we just sit together, you and me. Best friends.
She looks like she's starting to regret talking to Jude.
And Jude is loud.
Mm-hmm.
And has too much makeup on and this horrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you are drawing attention, definitely. There are people murmuring. You see, as you call him Lucky, Sir Lucius Winthrop, like 2 tables down, sitting 1 table away from Tenzin.
Can I wave to Lucky like a big...
He is absolutely ignoring you. His lucky charms, his companions are not with him for this particular game. And Tenzin, you are sitting down at a table with a very bright-haired redhead. Very happy, cheerful, but calculating in her cheerfulness. She greets everyone in turn and then looks to you. Oh, hello there. Who might you be?
Name's Tenzin.
Charmed. I don't believe I've ever seen you around before. I'm Tatiana Hyde.
I'm new.
As you say, best of luck with the tournament.
I'm sure everything's going to be fine. Best of luck to you, too. And just big, cheerful smile.
She gives you a long look and then turns and talks to other people at the table. And with that, there's a grand announcement welcoming you all to the tournament and explaining all of the rules. Over the course of the 3 days, each of the tables winners will go head to head against each other until it ends at the last final table with 6. Sorry. I can't math. Let's say with 6 people at the very end. Math is hard, y'all. It's fine. So with that, I would say it's time to start the poker game. So the stat for this, and feel free to argue for something else, but gambling typically is under covert. If you want it to be somewhere else with how you play poker, how your character plays poker, you are more than welcome to argue for a different stat for the skill side of things. For attributes, as I had done with Jude before, this would be either alertness, intelligence, or willpower. It doesn't really matter for Tenzin because they're all the same number. But it's how you play it, basically. So that is up to you. And I have a lovely chart here for the game.
I think Tenzin is very much a willpower willpower based player when it comes to this. Just the letting the confidence that carries him as a pilot just
Okay. Cool. So going with willpower, and then what skill? Are you going to just well, you don't have covert. So what would you think it would be?
I mean, if we're going with kind of the narrative of willpower, concentration, focus, drilled in, I have the concentration specialization, but I also have discipline to kind of go that route.
I like that. We'll go with concentration and willpower. So that's 2d8s for you. So that's what you'll be rolling during the poker tournament.
Okay.
Yep. Jude, how about you?
I was going to try to use my I think it would be intuition, which is a D8.
Okay, yeah. Intuition works really well with poker, I think. With how you play poker. So you're going with intuition, and then which attribute?
I'm having trouble deciding that because I have the reader for alertness. It would bring me up to the same as my intelligence. So
yeah. I would say that goes to the alertness. Yeah, in the end, it's just how you want to play it. So you can go for the alertness side of things with your reader ability, bringing it up to a D10, or you can go for intelligence with your intuition. Either one works.
I'm going to go with the alertness and just really 2 D10s anyway, but this is how I'm playing the first round.
Yeah. Nope, that works for me. So the game begins. The cards are all shuffled out. And for the first round, I'm going to have you both go ahead and roll your dice. I need to find out what abilities my people have.
I don't know if I want to use this roll. Can I save it for later?
No.
I'm scared. I've done so well for most of my rolls today.
I'm very sad that I maxed out my D6s. But that wasn't the actual roll. Hang on one second, because that tells me which die type I am going to be rolling. So now I roll a D8 and a D10. I bet you I'm gonna botch here. Okay, not a botch. Okay. So what did you get, Jude?
You sure I can't save this roll for later when it really matters?
I'm positive.
17.
Holy crap.
You see, that's why I wanted to save it for later.
The dice adore you. It's okay.
No, I'm
The
looking
dice
for a bad roll
truly
next time.
the dice truly do adore you. And so that's 17, was it 17 or 16? 17. That yields you a flush, which is 5 cards of the same suit, not in rank sequence. I do not know poker, so yes, that. So the example they give is all clubs. There's a queen, a 10, a 7, a 6, and a 4. So that's a flush. Whereas your opponents end up with 3 of a kind varieties, 2s, 4s, and then what was the other one? Lady Morrow, poor Lady Morrow, ended up with a single pair, and she just kind of acquiesces the game to you with a nod. Maybe we will have dinner sometime after all.
But
Very well done.
I didn't get them all the same. I thought that's what I was supposed to do.
No, you did a very good job. And she kind of pats your hand and wanders off to the side. Meanwhile, Tenzin.
I got a 12.
Okay, I got a D4 and a D10. You got a 12.
If you want to roll like a 3, that'd be great.
Uh-huh. Well, there is a 3 on one of my dice.
Yes.
What?
This to me.
No. So you got a 12, which is a 3 of a kind.
Just silence and the sound of dice hitting the
She's
table.
rolling more dice. Someone stop her.
You go through the rounds, one after another. It is taking a while. And eventually people are dropping out. They have 3 of a kind, 2 pair, only a high card. And right as it's just you and Tatiana, right? Name right? Yeah.
Titania.
Titania, thank you. I was like, I know that I'm saying this wrong. Right as it's just you and Titania, you stare her down, put down your 3 of a kind. You know what? Rollies me. Roll a d12. Tell me what you got.
That's a 1. The number.
And that's a 4.
Just spend your plot points.
Worth it.
You put down your 3 of a kind. It is 3 6s, and you think that'll be enough. And then she puts down 3 jacks. Better luck next time. Honestly, this game is quite a challenge, especially for newcomers.
Did better than a lot of other people at this table.
Certainly true. Not as good as some, though. And she stands up and walks away.
Oh, for a stink bomb.
Out of curiosity, Tenzin, are you following the plan of throwing a fit? Gotta ask
I don't think Tenzin knows how to throw a fit. Tenzin definitely knows how to cause drama, but his drama that he causes outside the ship usually involves getting shit-faced and noisy.
Okay. Well, here, we'll pull back from you for a moment. And Angie, you have been watching from the side the whole time. All of these various tables are going. Some are already finished. Some are going longer. The table with Sir Winthrop is surprisingly going one of the longest. And you watch as Tenzin and the woman that you now know is your friend Echo's mother are going back and forth with this game. What do you do while you are watching all of this?
I think, to be honest, Angie's eyes are going to be mainly on any other security personnel in the room.
Okay. Roll perception for me in that case. Perception and alertness. I don't know if you have anything more specific than that. No.
Good, that's 9.
9. Okay. So that beats an average. Okay. So what specifically are you looking for here?
Just seeing who's most alert, I think, really. I think she's mostly just seeing who's most on the ball in the security team.
Yeah, and
who to watch out for.
You would note that so there's the bar in the back, there's a stage off to one side, and over near the edge of the stage, this is where the gentleman who was making announcements was standing before. You see that DeWitt is standing eagle-eyed, watching everything. She at times reaches her hand up, presses at an earpiece and murmurs something, and you're fitted with those same earpieces and you're able to hear about someone looking a little bit suspicious, need to check it out, just back and forth, everything's okay, and they continue onward.
Okay. I will probably take the chance at some point to check out someone who is being suspicious, just to make sure that it looks like I'm doing my job.
Okay. So this is all happening. Echo and Landon, what are you doing during this first day of the poker tournament?
I think the first task, at least in my mind, is to do a casual walk by of the deck and go, which security guard is stationed there today? Because we're relatively hoping we're going to get lucky one of these 3 days.
Yeah.
So that's my first instinct.
I did buy some little overalls to not bring my religion into our drama by doing it in my robes. What stat would I have a -2 on if I saw a cut on my leg from shaving as a superstitious bad omen?
Oh, interesting.
Because he's wearing these overall shorts and just staring at this cut on his calf. So upset.
I would say alertness.
That's fine. Thank you.
Because distraction.
Oh.
Echo, I would love for you to make a roll for me.
Yeah.
I had to use superstitious at least once.
Oh, yeah. Of course. And so for Echo, I would say go ahead and roll stealth plus alertness.
Yeah. Okay. 14.
Hey, Echo.
Please. Yeah, do it, please. I've been waiting.
You know how things don't go smooth for you?
This is completely
I'd love for you to make a reroll.
Every facet of his past 2 weeks.
For those who do not know, Echo has a complication called Things Don't Go Smooth, where I get to ask for a reroll and take the lower number.
So the reroll is an 11, which is still better than I feared.
Okay. You know what? The dice tell a story. Things don't go smooth, but you manage to hold on, because the thing is, your uncle and your mom are on board, and you would love to not.
He literally has not untensed every muscle in his body since he walked onto this cruise ship.
Absolutely. And so with this role, one of the things that I was trying to figure out for you is who exactly is watching at this moment over all of the items for the auction. And so with an 11, who would you like to be working right now? You know that DeWitt is in from like meta kind of thing. You know that DeWitt is over in the gambling hall right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to be here at the moment?
DeWitt is over in the gambling hall. Angie is also over in the gambling hall.
Mm-hmm.
I think, depending on if I see this just in the moment and have time to return to Landon, I think I would love it to be a doll, because potentially I could at least talk to them while we put some EMPs in place. Even if we're not doing that right now, we could still set it up, and that would be great.
Okay. So it is a doll there. They are just standing watch. They have their hand kind of like set on their gun, like they're not quite sure how to hold it, and they're like adjusting every now and again, trying to figure out, okay, do I place it here or and so they're keeping an eye over everything, standing on that staircase, just keeping an eye out. They give you a cheerful grin and a hi there. Oh, good. Hi.
Hi. Hi. I was so sorry to interrupt. I know you're doing a really important job. I was wondering, do you have a medical bay on this ship?
Yes, we do. Where is it? This is a very big ship, and I don't do ships very often. I'm still learning where everything is. I want to say that it's on the deck 2. I think deck 2.
Okay.
Did you need something? Are you injured?
No, I'm actually a doctor, and I am all out of Band-Aids. It is truly so sad, and I would love to restock. So I was going to go check that out. Let me see if I can try to find it. And Echo walks briefly away, goes back to the shuttle, goes, Landon, this is the time to plant EMPs. Please help me.
Does this look like I could get infected? I nicked my calf.
Do I think it could get infected?
I roll a D2 for alertness right now, just so we all know while this heist is starting.
No.
Yeah. So
what's my medical opinion on this cut?
Roll your traumatic injury and intelligence.
Yes, a medicine roll. Watch this be a botch. It'll be. Nope, it's an 18. I know what I'm doing.
18
in this one area
is one away from a heroic success. I just want to point that out.
Doctor, you're confusing about skin. Like, I just do not have a bearing on what you do or do not understand with skin. There was a mole I had last week, and you said you could do nothing about it because it was skin.
Nope.
This is the tiniest of scratches. It is
Echo
normal.
Echo very seriously is like, well, after giving it, long and intense, my complete medical opinion is that I think you're going to be just fine. And specifically, I have a bandage and an antibiotic wipe, which I would encourage you to apply to make sure of that. I would encourage you to apply them potentially after you apply several EMPs to the upstairs security area, which is also my medical opinion and my heist opinion, because it's a doll that's on guard and we gotta go.
Do you think I should have worn pants because of the baby armies? Like, am I too exposed with an open wound?
I mean,
Blood make them crazy.
I mean, assuming that the baby armies could probably only hit up to about your shins, given the height differential. So pants might be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too late now. How am I getting the bombs through security to the place where everything's held?
Is security currently stationed like right outside our shuttle or the stairs? Oh, is it the same security checkpoint that Adol's at?
Yeah, that's the security checkpoint that Adol's at. But also, as a reminder, those only work for guns and swords and things like that. EMPs don't trigger them.
I'll put them in the back of my overalls like I got some junky trunk. And with my disguise kit, I've made myself just look older, like just more white hair and things, because they'll let me just wander anywhere lost.
I'm going to try to get them to show me the way to the medical bay and pretend like I'm really, really lost. So if I can get them out of the way, then I'll see that over to you.
Perfect, Escalus.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh dear.
I'll do that. We'll try and real hard to not drop any of the bombs out of my cut-off short overalls.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I return to the staircase and just very, very sheepishly, Echo like does a couple hands through his hair, very sheepishly looks like deeply frazzled and just, hi, I'm so sorry. I'm really just not used to a ship of this size. Could you help me find my way down to deck 2? I've been kind of just walking in circles for like 10 minutes, and I know it's really stupid, but you know your way around, right? I mean, clearly security, obviously you do.
I kind of do. I just learned what port and starboard are, but that's an improvement. I was saying left and right, and people were looking at me funny, but they did know what I was saying, so I don't know why they were looking at me funny. But anyway, I'm really supposed to stay here and guard things.
I can keep an eye on it for you.
Echo, I need you to roll a, what would it be? Not performance here.
Would it be persuasion?
Yep, persuasion plus willpower.
May I help them finally using my allure skill because of how cute I am in my overalls?
Cute old man, I think that will work with allure. Why not?
All right, so alert, persuasion, and then anything else?
No, for you, that is everything. But because you are working together in this, you get to combine your roles.
Allure gives me a +2 step.
So that's 2 dice up. So whatever die you would, if it was a D6, then you would roll a D10, for example. So what do you...
Persuasion.
That's persuasion. So D8, 2-step is a D12.
12.
Yep. That's a 10. And once again, I will plot point it up to an 11 because I keep rolling 10s.
Reminder
that
never
mind, we're adding.
Added. Yeah, wait for that.
Thank you so much. Never mind.
That is 8 on my D12.
So that brings it to an 18.
Looking cute.
Echo, did you want to spend that plot point to bring it up to a 19 and a heroic?
Yeah. I think I'd like to do that. I think that between the two of us, with me terrified of my current family situation and Landon looking wonderful in the world's best overalls, I feel like we're a very heroic pair.
My ass filled with bombs.
And with that, it is enough for a doll to go, okay, so long as you make sure that no one does anything, nothing can be stolen because it's all very, very protected. So I don't really know why I need to be here anyway. It's fine. I'll show you where to get to the medical bay. Are you okay, sir? Do you need medical attention? We can take you down to the med bay with us.
I think I'll just sit here. It's good to have a purpose. Now it kind of distracts me from my wound. So I'll keep an eye on this till you're back. So I don't have a weapon. Should you leave me yours, or do you think it'd be fine if I just watched?
No. People on the ship are not supposed to have weapons unless they
That's
are
smart.
security. Yes.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be back very, very soon. And they lead Echo off and are just chattering away to you. Tenzin, to end our session for the day, you figured out what you wanted to do. What is he doing as he has lost in the first round of the game?
Well, he's gonna ask himself, what would Angie do?
Oh.
And Angie scares him.
Mm-hmm.
And Angie is a fighty person.
Mm-hmm.
So I did say Tenzin's going to be bad at this. The first person to walk behind his seat, Tenzin's just gonna try and grab like a handful of chits and just try and clock them with it.
Oh. Interesting.
Kind of trying to fight dirty, but also just being like, I know this is probably going to go a little less well than I hoped.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm going to start off by figuring out who you randomly clock.
If it's Echo's mom, I'm okay with this.
Classic, what would Angie do? WWAD.
Hang on one second. I'm just writing down names.
Not impressed with Tenzin's impression of Angie.
Angie's like, I've never punched anybody.
Never ever in my whole life.
You're the biceps. You're biceps. Like,
okay.
What are biceps for if not punching people when you lose a game?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and
So true.
Be a hug.
okay, I am rolling a d6 to find out who you punch.
I punched DeWitt and I just get shot. Game over.
Punch Echolys's mom.
Okay, so I would like for you to roll to attack. So that is going to be strength plus if you have anything in unarmed combat.
I do not, so that would
He doesn't.
don't worry. My D2 has been blessed by no one. 2.
4. So as you go to grab the chips and try to punch someone, you turn around and there's this random elderly man who just goes, "What the?" And you just scatter all of the chips in his face in surprise at seeing this old man. I want to note that I put down in order Angie, Astrid DeWitt, Titania. Did I say it right? Yay. Rando, and Winthrop. You had 2 chances to hit a random person.
And I could have hit someone funny.
You could
Like
have.
the guy we're here to rob.
But this is also funny. And so as you go to try to punch this guy, security gets called in. And I am going to save that for our next session. So we'll see what happens for Tenzin here as
It's going perfectly, guys.
things are falling into place.
Well,
sorry,
two
Tenzin.
sessions ended with Tenzin taking a swing. Back to
I'm
back.
sorry, Tenzin. I have to make this look good.
Yeah.
You have to what? Bam.
So we will continue once again with Tenzin punching someone. next time. So thank you all for joining us for this penultimate session of Into the Black. We'll be back next week for our finale session. So be sure to be back here for that. We'll start with our outros. So I am Anya. I have been your storyteller, game master, whatever you want to call me. I am Lalian Cosplay everywhere. And I am also a pro GM on Start Playing Games. So if you like my playstyle and want to play in games with me, I have 1 million games scheduled for this month. So check them out. Come play with me. It's a fun time. Let's do the same order as the intros. I actually wrote it down, so I know who's going first. Emma, you start.
Hello, I am Emma. My brain has ceased to exist briefly because we were talking about punching people and it was very funny. But yes, you can find me relatively few places online, but I will be here next week. I will be appearing in various forms of audio, especially the Breathing Space Space Western show currently running. And you can also see me this coming Saturday in the First Kiss virtual play 24-hour play festival, where we're going to write and perform a bunch of plays in 24 hours. And it will be exactly as much chaos as that sounds like. So that will be online as well.
Very cool. I've always wanted to participate in one of those.
This is my first one I think I've ever done. I'm really excited.
Very cool. Zev, you're up next.
Hey everybody, I'm Zev, played your wonderful overconfident pilot. You can find me on Twitter at BukariGaming30K, here for one more Wednesday, and over on Bardic Inspiration Network, running Shadows of the Lost and Tales of Exandria Chronicle. It's been a couple weeks, okay? Also have some Warhammer stuff coming in the possibly near future with the new Wrath and Glory update. That's me.
Very cool. Then Rara.
Oh, hey, I'm Rara. You can find me under Rara or Rara Storytime most places. I run a little sad-ass podcast called The Heart is a Dungeon. We just started season 2 last week. Episode 2 comes out tomorrow, and I just finished like a stretch of a bunch of games, so I'm here and there, but I don't know. I don't remember where I am in the next week. Oh, Queer RPG, our Kindle Obscura trilogy. Last night premiered the first episode, and that's coming out on Tuesdays. Pre-recorded, so I get to watch, and that's never happened before, so that's super fun.
Also, your podcast is a delight. I started listening to it, and I love it.
Be careful with the prologue. I mean, there was a whole thread of people being like, it made me cry with my mom, and I felt like so bad reading through that thread. The prologue's rough.
Yeah, it is, but it's a good one. Anyway, Janie.
Hi, Janie. I played Jude, the captain who gets to pretend to be someone else, kind of. I'm actually not anywhere for the rest of this week. Next time you see me, we'll be here next week. And you can follow me on social media, Twitter's Janie7575 and Janie Potts on Blue Sky.
Okay, and Mica.
I am Mica. I was playing Angie Zhang. You cannot find me anywhere online, and if you try, I will track you down and I will end you. But you could maybe look up the Moss Troopers on Facebook. We are a storytelling troupe, a group of roguish performers, and you can find us in the northeast of England, or sometimes Scotland, sometimes further south, if you are interested in that sort of art form.
Very cool. So a couple of announcements before we head out for the night, because it is nighttime for me. Our creator app is always open for Girls Run These Worlds. So if you have a story you'd like to tell, we want to help you get it off the ground and into space. Hey. So you can find out more info on the website, girlsruntheseworlds.com. Also, tonight is at 8 p.m. Eastern, another session of Roll for Luck. Join our long-running anchor show for for the Sapphic homebrew world of Amalgarth with Girls Run These World founder Ryu as the dungeon mistress. So we are going to be doing a raid. Let's see if I pronounce correctly. RP Geeks D&D is where we are heading. So be sure to stick around for the raid. Tell them we all say hi. And we will see you for the finale next week. Y'all have a good one. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.